Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to my latest reading, which is sort of an unusual topic for a pick a card channel. But this is on what would Donald Trump say to you, or how would he advise you if you were to meet Donald Trump and maybe spend some time with him. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't want to spend time with Donald Trump because it's kind of a split. People love them, or they hate them. But let's take aside all that, that the stuff surrounding him, and just go to his higher self. Let's channel his higher self, and take away all the controversy of what he said, hasn't said, and on and so forth. And let's see let's see if we can get some wisdom out of him from his higher self or oversoul for your particular situation. So basically, yeah, pick one of the piles, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, to see what would Donald Trump say to you, maybe even what he would think about you, what would he advise you. Let's see what comes up for this very interesting pick a card reading with a very strange topic, but nonetheless, if you were drawn to it, you're probably drawn to it for a reason. So pile number 1, what would Donald Trump say to you, advise you, think of you? What would, okay, the Hanged Man. I'm hearing the words, you need to get the ball rolling. So I'm feeling his sort of like, that's what he would say. We've got a ball here, and then the Hanged Man is somebody who's in a stuck position. So it's sort of like he's saying you should. Now is the time for you to move forward, and the Ace of Pentacles to actually claim what is yours. And he says that you have a lot of. He says you have a lot of good ideas, but you have to move forward to. I'm just gonna bring the camera up a little bit so you can see the cards here. It's saying that you have a lot of good ideas, but you're kind of stuck in a lot of sort of analysis paralysis. And he'd say that you should, and yeah, wow, this feels like a very, because wow, we've got the Hanged Man upright, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So I'm saying there's something really intense. Like, I'm hearing him say you have a genius mind, and you don't have to be so afraid of failure. He's saying, like, I've failed many times at things. I've failed. So I'm hearing that rival, and I'm hearing too that I'm hearing that you're a very spiritual person, and you're almost afraid to be pushy, is what I'm hearing. You're almost too afraid that would somehow, you almost have the subconscious fears of being a bad person, and then that sort of lends you to being enslaved to sort of toxic people, and you're afraid of sort of not exactly claiming what is yours, but being too pushy type thing. But I hear him doing, and it's really interesting because we've got the ball here, right here, and then we've got the circle, and they're both reversed. And that I don't know if you know aces, that means yes, or an absolute new beginning, the raw passion. So I'm hearing, yeah, don't be afraid of being a slave, or don't be a slave. Oh, what I'm hearing, interesting message. I'm hearing, don't be a slave to your own guilt. I'm hearing you have this interesting thing I'm getting through, but don't be a slave to your own guilt. Like, it's sort of like you're a good enough person, or a very good person, and you need to almost empoweredly move forward what you want. That's what I'm hearing. So it's interesting, and I'm hearing you don't be afraid of what will happen. With the Two of Swords, you can be afraid and then kind of stuck. But I was talking about going into that power, and this is the ultimate. King of Wands is sort of like the ultimate, like he's a fire sign, he's powerful, he owns what he wants. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So what I'm hearing is that it's time to almost switch the Knight of Pentacles, which he has good characteristics. He moves forward at a plodding pace, and he gets things done. But the King of Wands is very much a powerful moving forward. So yeah, so whatever it is, I'm hearing you have a very genius mind, and I'm hearing you may have even 3 or 4 genius ideas. It could be business ideas, even invention ideas, even like artistic ideas, maybe writing, maybe even a YouTube channel. Like you may have a very unique idea. And I'm hearing, do not, you're it's like you not don't just have, you may for some have just one unique idea, but the majority of you pick this pile, you've got 3 or 4 ideas, and Donald Trump thinks that those ideas are wonderful. He loves innovation, but he's saying that a lot of times people get stuck and they don't get the ball rolling forward. And he'd like to see people that have good ideas, that are good people, move forward and with assertiveness. In fact, he says he doesn't really like it when people like they sort of holding on. It's sort of like they can kind of holding on to sort of outdated feelings about yourself too, and also holding on to feelings that you will fail. That I'm hearing, it's almost like it will always be the same. It will never be. It's almost like there's this dark being behind you that it's sort of like I can't really be what I want, and it's sort of like hate success. And I'm hearing that some people around you, I'm hearing that you have some people around you that are kind of toxic and are not, and they probably wouldn't like you to move forward. They kind of want you to be where you are right now. I'm hearing you may have, I'm hearing in some cases you may have 2 people, even 3 people like this in your life. And it's like I'm hearing kind of a direct, he's very direct. He doesn't his energy is very direct. He's like, you need to lose about two friends that are just not, like, they're kind of toxic and all, even holding on to you. And it's almost like you're this wise spiritual being with a lot of wisdom and a lot of, and this is where you get the ideas from your universe, because you're very, very wise. But it's sort of like, I'm hearing you need to have assertiveness. You need to have assertiveness, or else it might get ugly. Be very clear with your boundaries and decide what it is that you want. Get your ducks in the row, and for goodness sake, get the ball rolling. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, get the ball rolling. Don't let anybody stand in your way. And I'm hearing, there's like some people, and I'm hearing you'll know. Don't miss. I'm hearing it's almost a hearing too. It's like for some, it is a collective reading, so it's not necessarily everything gonna apply for everybody. I'm hearing that you have about 2 people in your life that are really like kind of they're dragging you down. They don't really, that generally, it's kind of like they hold on to you. They kind of hold you in place. But I'm hearing that you have, or you're going to have somebody, or you may already have one person who really is in your corner, 1 or even 2 people. So it's like you may have a split, and I'm hearing of people who truly have your best interest at heart, or you're going to be attracting them soon, or you already have them in your life and they want you. It's like I'm hearing the people in your life, you've got 1 or 2 people that just, they've got really an unhealthy dynamic of wanting to control you for their own purposes. But I'm hearing that you also have, or you're very soon having, or you identify the people in your life that really support you. Because I'm hearing there's people that really do want the best for you too. So, and not people that are just like violating, like low energy, not growing people who don't have your best interest. So I'm hearing like it's like he comes through in Donald Trump, and almost in an energy that I don't have. It's sort of like he's like, cut them off and be very clear about. So he's got kind of a cutting energy, Donald Trump. He's kind of like he has no trouble sharing his viewpoint, almost like he's like, cut the bad people out and keep the good people. It's like, it's almost this simple, and go for your goals. He's like, it's almost, it feels, when I feel his energy, it feels so almost like simple. I almost feel when I feel his energy, I almost feel like a person can accomplish anything with his attitude. It's like, I'm not saying, I'm not encouraging any like, I'm not saying he's the best thing in the world or anything, but he does have a certain energy that I was drawn to bring forth in this reading. And it's a powerful, he does have certain, whether you think he's 80% negative, 20% positive, or just completely evil, he does have a certain energy that gets things done. So he does have, we all have good sides and bad sides. So I'm sort of trying to, intuit the sort of the positive, helpful side of him right now. I know some people may think that's strange, but yeah, I'm trying to channel the positive, helpful side of him. And let's see what else. It's almost it's almost like dream. He's saying, do not be afraid. And I keep on hearing that you have very unique ideas. And I'm hearing almost interesting. I'm getting another message like, be careful who's in your life. Because I'm hearing, it's like this dividing line of like, I'm hearing there's some snakes in your life. There's some snakes who would steal. They'd stop your dreams, or they'd stop your dreams, or they would steal dreams, or they'd even try and take your ideas. There's like a couple who could be in your life, but then there's also good people. It's like you're in the cusp of something right now, and Donald Trump kind of wants you to sort of move forward. He's like, move forward, and he's like, I don't know if this is good advice, but he's like, you need to be more cold and sort of like almost self. It's interesting, but because I wouldn't say this is normally a good advice, but I'm hearing for this pile, you almost need to be more cold and self-centered about your own. And it's a funny, like don't take this the wrong way, right? Because that's not normally a good thing to do, right? That's not a really normal good attribute, but it's almost like you have earth angel vibes, and it's sort of like you need to be more assertive and claim what you want and get the ball rolling. But I'm hearing the most, even more important than the idea that you need to get rolling here, is the fact that you need to be very clear. Do not be, what's the word? Do not be naive. Do not think that everybody has your best interest at heart. But then there are people that has your best interest at heart. So I'm hearing like, this is me now. It's kind of intermittent. It's sort of like, this may not be, I don't think this is a Donald Trump speaking here, but it's sort of, I'm hearing you may want to take up some intuitional awareness to be clear and to trust. And I'm hearing, not that you don't have intuitional awareness, you do have intuitional awareness, but it's sort of like, it needs to be recalibrated in terms of sort of knowing the truth about people around you, which can be kind of painful. And know that there are, but like just knowing that. And it's sort of like Donald Trump is sort of like, you need to empower. He's like, it's interesting. he's like, you already know that. That's my advice, but he's having different advice. He's sort of like, you already know who the bad people are. You already know who the good people are, and cut out the bad people and hang out with the good people. You already know. So that I'm hearing like my soft approach isn't really what he would advise. His advice would be cut them out and don't look back, move forward. He's like, don't even think about intuitional awareness, but just move forward because you already know. So interesting. He gives different advice than I would give, because I would say, focus on your intuitional awareness, but he's almost like, he almost gives different advice. So it's sort of like I'm doing this reading and I'm trying to give mine, but then his advice is coming through. So letter, and I'm hearing letter. Interesting. Okay. See what Donald Trump wants to say, that what he would say. I'm hearing, look at the letter in a different way. Look at your messages in a different way. Interesting. Okay. I don't quite understand that right now, but I'm going to see if you look at your messages in a different way. Falseness. Okay. I still don't understand falseness. I'm going to go grab my my deck over here. What did I? Okay, it's going in my cupboard. Bear with me. I'm grabbing the. I'm gonna get some more. Okay, I think it's an important message here. But letter and falseness. The devil. So I'm hearing that letter and then the devil, super important, because the devil is somebody who wants to bring you down. So I'm still getting that message that like the people in your life, like one or two that aren't safe, but then there are people that are. So falseness, the devil, and the letter. So okay, let me get another card, and I can sort of see where this is going. Okay, the tower. Okay. So I'm hearing that there's, okay, now I'm hearing it. Okay, he's saying that, like, empowering, when you let the devil into your life, it will bring nothing but falsity and people that are ruthless in the wrong way. It's saying, okay, and then I'm hearing that there's a difference. There's a positive ruthlessness and a negative ruthlessness, and I'm hearing you need to develop. This is what Donald Trump is saying. He's like, you need to develop the positive, assertive, like not a negative ruthlessness, but sort of a positive, like assertive, but not. It's not a negative. It's not being like walking over people, because you won't do that. You don't have the energy of what. But I'm hearing that you've attracted, because you, okay, this is what I'm hearing, because you have not developed your own power and your own assertiveness. It's like you've kind of you've only attracted these negative people into your life who will just send you negative messages, or even send other negative messages about you that are false. It's like these people that are very toxic, and they could actually, they could end in your ruin. These people could actually, so I'm hearing, like, you need to be almost cold about cutting these people out of your life, because, and I'm hearing Donald Trump say, like, he's figured out about the difference between, like, he has been a learning journey for him too, and he sort of figured out the difference between negative power and positive power. So it's not really ruthlessness you're after, because that's not really a good word. It's positive. I'm trying to clarify. I'm trying to message, because that's a bad thing to be ruthless, but it's sort of like a positive power type thing. Moving forward, a positive. You need to develop your positive power. Feel almost your root chakra. If you want to feel the power, gaining power from the earth, developing your own power and moving forward. Because I'm hearing, yeah, there's do not be afraid to cut out dangerous people who are truly worthless in a bad way. Ruthless, yeah, like these ruthless people could be very bad for you, and you need to cut them out in a positively ruthless but not ruthless manner, if that makes sense. A very empowered manner. So it's like I can almost feel the power that he wants to imbue into you. Body system. It's almost like you need to reclaim your body, and just energetically, and it's sort of like I'm seeing shackles. Like these people have shackled you. They've shackled you, and Donald Trump was like, no room for shackles. He's like, I never take shackles. I never take any so it's the confidence of, and some would say, and I hear Donald Trump say, some would say, I'm not the wisest person. And he's like, that may be sometimes true. I'm hearing him say, I may not always be the wisest person, but I do bring an energy into the world that moves energy forward. He's like, and I do that. He's like, I don't always say the best things. He's like, I and some would say I'm unwise, and he's like, that would be sometimes true. He's like, sometimes I'm not the wisest person. He's like, sometimes I'm wise, but sometimes I'm not wise at all. He says, but I do bring an enthusiastic power into the world, and I'm hearing that, yeah, you need to bring that enthusiastic power into the world through your ideas, through getting the ball rolling, and also cutting out the negative people. And I'm hearing that, yeah, but you need to be clear, because you don't want to cut out the wrong people, because there's people, like, you don't want to cut out the people who truly have your back. So this is me speaking now, you want to use your intuitional awareness. And then it's funny, I'm hearing it's like Donald Trump was like, who cares about, it's interesting, he's like, who cares, just move forward. But I'm saying that, the intuitional, that it's good to just be kind of, what's the word, discerning about what you do too. So you want to have that energy of discernment. So yeah. So I think that's all I'm gonna it's kind of a convoluted energy, because I'm kind of taking his energy, and then I have my ideas too. So it's sort of like, it's an interesting pick a card. I was just kind of inspired to do it the other. It's a weird idea. I know it is, but nonetheless, it's an interesting idea. Okay, pile number 2. What would Donald Trump say to you? What would he advise? What would he kind of what would he, if he spent a day with you, what would he say? And he knew your life story. What would he say to you? Materialism. Interesting. We've got the 8 of Wands, or 8 of Pentacles, I mean, or maybe it's and then the 8. Oh my goodness. The 2. I've got 2 different 8 of Wands, or 8 of Pentacles. I keep on wanting to say 8 of Wands. Maybe that's an important card for that, but materialism. So let me see the rest of the card and see what I get. 5 of Cups, the Moon, and the Lovers here. I'm going to cover that right here just because of the YouTube guidelines and what have you. So the Lovers here, and then you can see 2 lovers, and then I covered it up because of the imagery and YouTube and what have you. But interesting. Okay, I'm just going to try and tune in. Okay, what would Donald Trump have to say to you, or think about you, or what advice would he have for you, your current situation, what have you? Okay. Interesting. I'm getting kind of a message that I wouldn't expect from him, but at all, and it's kind of different from the first reading. But I'm hearing, do not focus so much on the material world, because the material world will always let you down. But focus on the spiritual world. Interesting. And that is where, because it's almost like, and I'm hearing I'm hearing this image of Donald Trump on a journey, and he's like, I am a very different person. He's like, people may not see it, but in the last 20 years, he says, I have become a completely different person. He's saying, and it's sort of like he's like, I may seem to be materially bound, but I have seen what is truly important in this world after many trials and tribulations. So it's sort of like he's saying that don't work on the wrong. You can work on something, but truly know, because we've got the working card and then materialism. It's like, focus on what is important. Do not give up your goals, but meld your goals. It's almost like you've got different areas of your life, and it's sort of like there needs to be this, and I'm hearing the word self-enemy. It's sort of like he wants you to have this sort of spiritual up-levelment. And I'm gonna pull some more cards and see what other messages. This spiritual up-levelment, pain, because I'm just getting a lot of emotional pain and hesitation. It's almost like, I'm hearing him say, it's sort of like you're kind of coming to a point that he came to over the last 20 years, or he started realizing it the last 20 years, but it's sort of like how this world, it's important to accomplish in the world, but realizing what are you truly trying to accomplish? Because I'm hearing him say he's spun his wheels over and over, and finally something clicked, and so he's hoping that what clicked for him will click for you as well, about what is important. So it's sort of like, it's whatever you're going on, whatever is, whether it's career, relationship, friendship, it's sort of like seeing the whatever situation it is, and it's sort of like there's a painful situation that, like, it's something that you may it's sort of almost a sense of disillusionment, and I'm hearing that you're dealing with, and it's sort of like he's saying, I felt the same disillusionment until a door opened for me in my mind, and I figured out how to blend the spiritual and the physical, and it's almost a sense of humor. Like, it's sort of like he's starting to, he's like when I started to, he's saying his relationship with laughter changed. Like his relationship with laughter, it changed, and then he was almost like he's carrying a burden and he stopped carrying it. But it's sort of like, continue on with your projects, your goals, whatever you're going on, whatever you're dealing with, but look at the sort of, not with an afflictive energy. It's like, see what, like, whatever your goal you have, whatever relationship you have, whatever it is, sort of look at it and see, oh, what is behind it, what is behind the and it's sort of like, it's sort of a releasing of mind stuff. I'm hearing it's sort of like some project you're working on is very connected to your mind, and it's almost like when you connect your mind and your heart, then that is when you will move to the next level. So it's sort of like this afflictive energy, and I'm hearing you say, I connect. He's like, whether people know it or not, when I do my speeches, I'm connecting people to a truer, like, what's the word, like, he's like, I'm almost connected. He's like, my speeches may seem very simple, and my behavior may seem strange, but he's like, but you may have, but like, in the last, I'm hearing 8 years or so, he's like, I've done a huge change, and I'm not the same person that I used to be, and he's like, I can access now a power that I did not have before, because something shifted in me. He's like, and now I can. He's like, and it's sort of like he wants you to find this energetic, spiritual essence behind everything that you do, which helps him in his speeches inspire people. Because he's like, he's like, in his speeches, he's like, they're very energetic. He's like, people make fun of me because I say strange things, but there is an immense energy behind me that touches people's hearts. And he's like, 90% of people don't even know what's happening. They don't know what's happening, but my energy touches their hearts, and it's like, he's like, in a way, I didn't before. He's like, I wasn't, which I couldn't before. So basically, what am I getting here is that your life will shift when you truly see people for who they are and how things are and the energy beneath them. And once you truly connect to this higher vision, you will see that everyone in your life changes. Every person in your life changes. Every goal in your life changes. and it will take on more of a shiny quality. A shiny, not something that's just about money and accomplishment, but a sort of tying that energy to another higher ideal, a higher ideal. And I'm hearing him say, interesting, he's like, I had to throw a lot of ideas out, he's saying. He's like, in the last, I keep on hearing 8 years, but I don't, but it's like, I had to release a lot of ideas and about how things were, and it was quite a shock to my system. And I'm hearing, yeah, it's almost like you're going through right now the journey he's gone on, like in the last, like 8-10 years, and it's sort of like, let's see some other, okay, I'm gonna go to the advice card here. Okay, the advice. Okay, trust the divine plan. So yeah, I'm getting this a very spiritual pile, and it's sort of like you're really up leveling now. Make a plan. Oh wow. Plan and plan. Trust the divine plan. Make a plan. But I'm hearing him say sort of like, make a plan, but throw out your plan as well. So make it interesting. He's like, there's a lot of contradictory energy to this. But yeah, make a plan, but throw out your plan as well. And it's sort of like, be patient, but don't be patient. Be spiritual, but be as cunning as a fox. But be good, but don't be afraid to be. It's sort of like all these energies are being sewn up within you. These sort of like these contradictions, if you will. And yeah, it's sort of like, let's see what other, okay. And the energy I'm getting with this is it's sort of like, it's sort of like you're going to another timeline. You're going to another timeline, and do not be afraid to just go with the flow, but direct the flow at the same time. It's all about, yeah, it's sort of like, it seems that like you're just going this huge spiritual up-levelment now, where you know what is important. And I'm hearing it could include a career change, but if not a career change or some other big change in your life, it's a change. Like you see this picture here, right? There's covered, not covered. It's almost like your eyes are being opened to the true. Like, it's like you'll see everybody in your life differently. You'll see the whole world differently. You'll see the whole sort of, shall we say, matrix differently. Like, that is what you're going to do. And it's sort of like, so I keep on hearing like that, those cards said, make a plan, but don't make a plan. Yeah, like just theta brainwave stabilizer. So, like, just... gamma brainwaves. So some sort of change in your consciousness is happening. Some sort of change, and I'm hearing, let it go in the direction it wants to go, but guide it too. So it's sort of like your whole way of doing things, and your whole way of thinking, and your whole way of perceiving the world is going to change and shift. And that is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Even it's definitely a beautiful thing. And Donald Trump is like, I like to inspire those changes in people. And he's like, interesting. He says, so, like, sometimes interesting. I like, yeah, I'm getting his energy, so I don't really. Okay, I'll try and. He's saying sometimes people are very stupid, and he's not saying you're not stupid, but like the people who pick his spell, he's not saying that. But it's like he's like, when I talk to people, like, they're very stupid sometimes. He says, and he's like, you're not stupid. You're you've got a high it's almost like this energy. Okay, what I'm trying to say is like the force. You're now learning to consciously um connect to the source from what everything is, the source that animates this entire matrix. And it's sort of like, I'm hearing that, okay, I'm hearing, he's saying that you're doing what, he's like you're not the pig who picked this pile. You're not one of the stupid ones. He's like, there are people that are stupid or very, he's like, there are people who follow me that are very, or not follow, and he's like, I don't like the word follow, but he's like, there's people that I energetically influence who are quite stupid, and like they, like he's like, they'll just go along with the sort of the flow of everything and not really think for themselves. But you probably or you do think for yourself. And I'm hearing too, and that is part of the problem, the solution, and a good thing all at the same time. Interesting. So he's saying you're smart, but you're also afflicted. He's like, you're smart. Okay, interesting. I'm getting these fascinating energies from him. It's sort of like you're one of the smart. He's like, the human beings on this planet. He's like, there are people that are very stupid, and then there's people that are smart. But sometimes the stupid people who just go along energetically and feel things, and he's like, they can actually be quite dangerous. He's like, as in a certain incident that occurred, he's like, they can be quite dangerous, but they could also be kind of, these stupid people can be kind of like, they can show the energetic flow of the universe too. So you pick pile 2 who are both smart, are up leveling to this spiritual level. Like, it's like you're smart, you're very intelligent, you were clearly working on projects, which is a positive thing, but you're moving your intelligence to a different level where you're melding it with this spiritual energy of the universe. And you're allowing that energy to move you and connect with your diligent, intelligent, hardworkingness. So this sort of intuitive energies are mixing with the smart energy that you have. And I'm hearing that the stupid people, they kind of like, they move with the energies without thinking, which is quite dangerous. But you don't do that because you're smart. But at the same time, all humans should intuitively feel this energy and move with it, but not being confused about what it is and what it isn't. And bringing the energy in, but not using your intelligent mind and your hardworking nature to ground it into this reality is what he aspires for all people to do. But some people are just not capable of it. He's like, some people are just, he says the word unconscious automatons. And he's like, but you're somebody who can ground this energy, but now you're moving it and moving your mind and your hardworking diligence and moving it and connecting it with this spiritual element and bringing it together, and it will be a very positive thing, just like the stone. Interesting. I think I hope I articulated that. It's kind of interesting because I'm bringing in his energy, but I'm sort of like trying to. It's kind of a different energy because I'm trying to ground it into this reality, but it's kind of hard. Anyway, but that was pile number 2 about Donald Trump. What would Donald Trump say to you? What would he advise you? Interesting energy. So pile number 3. What would Donald Trump say? What advice would Donald Trump? Something about loneliness and the hanged man. Something about loneliness and moving away from loneliness in a unique way. Interesting. Let me get a drink of water. That's what I'm hearing. Something about loneliness. As you look at this, and this feels very lonely. This pyramid, if you will. But I'm not quite sure what the message is. But I'm going to get all the cards, and then I'm going to 9 of Wands. So moving away from sort of negative, moving away. Interesting. We've got moving away. Then we've got the Chariot, which is moving away, and the 2 of Wands. It's like it's almost in this state where you're kind of neither here nor there. Okay, so let's get what would Donald Trump say to you? Okay. Become all that you can be by recognizing what is important in your life, truly important. And the reason that you can't claim what you want in your life is because you don't know what this is, yet you do know what this is. And you're really trying to move towards it. You can see that, and a lot of humans are at this point where they're moving towards as sort of a collective like timeline shift with humanity and people's individual timelines. It's sort of like you're moving in a positive direction. You are doing that. And he's like, you are on your game, or you are trying to get on your game, and this is admirable. But figuring out what is truly important as you move towards what you want, because you can sometimes go in circles and end up in the same situation, same people, same job, same energetic mindset. And how to avoid that is to really go within and examining yourself. And you are doing that, and a lot of humanity is doing that. But there's an added ingredient that needs to be added to the equation to make sure you don't create the same thing, to make sure that you up-level into another reality. To make sure that you up-level into a different reality, the ingredient is... Okay, let's get I'm going to pull out my card. What is an ingredient so you can up-level to this new reality? Strangers. That's an interesting... Mother... Strangers. Okay. So it's sort of like going back to sort of to your source. It's interesting. I heard going back to your source, and in a sense, like when you're birthed into that world can be that, but it's sort of like and I got loneliness before, and then strangers, like strangers in your life. So it's sort of like I'm hearing people that you think are strangers may actually be moving towards you more, and people who you think are your friends may be moving away, like kind of moving away from you, because it's sort of like everything is reconfiguring now, and it's all about going back to, okay, this is what I'm hearing. Okay, I saw this word and I couldn't really make sense. It's kind of a weird unpronounced word, but going back to your true core value about what is important. And it could be, he's like, sometimes it's a word, but sometimes it's just a pure essence. Sometimes it's just a pure energy. Like it's like an energy of when you were at your most pure. So like source, I said source pure. Well, when you were birthed, right? That could be kind of, you had the most like pure energy at that time. But it's like going back to your core value, and that could even be a sound or an interesting nurture yourself first. So it's almost like you're going back to what is important, but on like this energetic level, so you can live life to the fullest, truly to your fullest. And I'm hearing him say, I found I lived life to the fullest when I he's like, when I truly knew the people in my life. He's like, there's probably about 8 people that I truly, like, I didn't see them before, and when I saw them before, I began to truly see myself, and what that my core energy that when I went to this world, and like, it's sort of like the core energy, we get written over with all these programs. And it's like he knows about the psychological programs. There's about 20, interesting, I'm hearing there's about 20 to 22 different programs that the dark side uses to, it's like these different, interesting, I but like 20 to 20, I haven't heard this before, I don't know if this is true, but 20 to 22 different programs that they use, that the dark forces use to psychologically manipulate people into fighting other people and fighting themselves. He's like, it should be deprogramming, should be taught in schools and in universities, deprogramming. So he's like, interesting, 20 to 22 different programs, psychological programs meant to attack people's self-worth, their self-image, have been embedded into the society intentionally, and they are meant to write over your true core self, meant to separate people, that the main goal of these programs, or to separate people from other people, and most of all from themselves. So he says that, like, when you separate people from themselves, they can be manipulated into doing anything. It's like, and in some cases this is a positive manipulation, but in most cases it's not. In most cases it's a negative programs. Like, maybe, interesting, 20 negative programs. Let's hear what maybe he'll tell me what are some of them. I'm hearing, sacrifice yourself or else you will feel guilty. Sacrifice yourself or else you feel guilty. Number 2, you have no right to feel happy. Number 3, love is poison. And number 4, something about escape. Constant escape in emotional waters, drowning yourself in your emotional waters is the only way to feel safe. Interesting. And he's saying that there's actually a book where they write down ways to psychologically manipulate human beings. Interesting. And there's 20 programs that they use to do this. That's very interesting. And he's like, there's more. He could go over, like, there's many more, but for the sake of this reading, let's just focus on the energy of that. So it's sort of like, yeah, there's a huge need to deprogram, as there are for all humans need to be deprogrammed, because you're just filled with, but yeah, the insidiousness of this. I'm seeing an image of like a book, and they write like, it's like there's like about 20 different programs that's meant to, yeah, disconnect people from themselves and turn them against other people. It's like, and turn people against the true nature and God, almost source. It's like this three: turn people against themselves, turn people against other people, and turn people against God. Interesting. Not to be all conspiratorial, but yeah, this is interesting. I didn't expect this to come up, but yeah, he's showing me the like the programs that they, anyway. But let's get back to the reading. So it's sort of like to remove your almost, and I'm hearing something else. It's almost like when people, they start to remove these programs, there's these like, almost like hearing that there's under, okay, it's almost, he's saying it's almost diabolical, because there's 20 different programs and there's 10 ways that a person will be attacked. About 10 to 15 ways that they will be attacked when they try to deprogram themselves. But so I'm hearing it's like for you, and there's sort of like an afflictive, and there's a little bit of this in pile. I actually don't remember what it was pile 2, but I think there was something about this. I don't even remember right now, but it's sort of like like your program is a little bit of afflictive escapism. It's like emotional, sort of being stuck in your emotions. It's like that's the program that you're running right now, is being kind of stuck in your emotions. And let's see what else. So what he would say, that yeah, it's about going back to your core essence. So, and not making yourself a foe, not making other people the foe. But I'm hearing that, yeah, maybe if you write down on a piece of paper, what are your 4 main programs, and just whatever comes to mind, and then asking that these, and hearing they're not hopeless. I'm hearing you like most people are stuck in this belief matrix program that is that is meant to pretend that this belief matrix program is meant to make you feel that it loves you, but it does not love you. So it's sort of like people got this idea that that love equals pain and pain equals love. So it's sort of like that whole 1984 and like, so yeah, there's these programs that you need to remove to go back to source, your true source, and all programs are about disconnecting people from source, which is the dark side's main agenda. But there'll be a surprise for most people who pick this reading. There'll be a surprise at the end of this deprogramming that you need to go through to go back to. And do not be offended. I'm hearing some people may be offended by that, but most people have programs. And it's sort of like there'll be a surprise at the end to make it well worth your while. And it won't be it won't be as much work as you think. Things are starting to, like, the energies in the collective are moving forward in a much positive way, and there's actually going to be a point where like a lot of the trouble that's going on is that where people are desperately trying to remove these programs, these 20 afflicted psychological programs that have been put on humanity by the dark side. And people are they're desperately trying to release these shackles, but sometimes they don't know how to do that. And the best way to do that is not by sheer willpower, although willpower can be a part of it. But by being stealthy and going into these programs and dissolving them from the inside, that's how you move forward. You dissolve them from the inside. And I'm also hearing he feels very, very bad for humanity because they have served so many false gods and so many false people, and it's like there's a huge amount of confusion right now. But I'm also hearing that you will help by doing your own programming. I'm hearing the word 10,000. You can help 10, even more I'm hearing, but I'm hearing the word 10,000. You will be able to, by doing your own deprogramming work, you will, since you're a powerful being, you can help. I'm hearing it starts at 10,000 and it goes upwards. So it's sort of like you can basically help a myriad of people starting at 10,000 by doing your own deprogramming work. And then you're probably on the right track already. But just some closing words are, don't worry, and it sounds simple, but do not worry what people around you are doing. Which is like the chaos around you will dissipate when you connect to your heart. And I'm hearing something else too. I'm hearing Donald Trump, he's like, he tries to get people connected to their heart, but it's almost like he's laughing and he's saying it has disastrous results. He's like, it's like getting people into their heart, into their true right mind. It's like, he's like, people try and do, like he tries to, and it tries to do these things, but then, and then he starts, it's almost like he has to become, like, since humanity, he's almost like humans are very obtuse. It's like he almost has to do triggering things to maneuver the collective consciousness into the right direction, which is ultimately, it's like, ultimately where you're trying to steer humanity and everybody, all humans, is into their heart and their true source. But it's like, it's like herding kittens, right? You know, when the mother cat tries to, direct the kittens in the right direction, they just don't want to. So it's sort of like, but he's like, you're one of the smart ones, the spiritual ones, right? The smart, but it's sort of like, but you need to get with the limbs, you need to get into the right direction, and you will help a myriad of people by deprogramming your negative beliefs. And even I think this pile could be quite psychic. This pile could be quite psychic, and you navel chakra. But there's just a bit of this. I think this card will help you to almost become psychic, like even more. And then the more, it's like when you complete this journey and connect to your true heart, your psychicness will help yourself, help everybody. Your intuitional, your spiritual essence will help everybody. Will help not only you, but so it's sort of like he's excited because you're the collective that's going on a journey, a positive journey into your heart, which is what he's trying to get people to do. But you're sort of on the forefront of this. Thank you. All right. Thank you for listening to my reading. Have a terrific day.